Corey Feldman just named names in his explosive documentary about what really happened to young actors in Hollywood. And what he revealed about the casting process, the powerful and how the industry treated young ones will shock you to your core. This isn't just another celebrity scandal. This is the truth Hollywood has been hiding for decades.
Listen, Corey Feldman has been trying to tell this story for years, but nobody wanted to listen. They called him crazy, desperate for attention, and washed up. But here's the thing. He was right all along. You're about to discover why young actors in the 1980s weren't just dealing with fame and pressure. They were surrounded by predators who saw them as easy targets. And the worst part is the adults who were supposed to protect them either looked the other way or were the ones doing the harm. Feldman recently went viral after he doubled down on his mission to expose the truth. He's naming names, sharing details, and refusing to stay silent anymore. By the end of this video, you'll understand why powerful people in Hollywood do not want me saying what I'm saying right now, according to Feldman himself. So, let's dive into this disturbing reality that the entertainment industry has kept hidden for way too long. Before we get into the heavy stuff, you need to know who we're talking about here. Corey Feldman was one of the biggest child stars of the 1980s. I'm talking massive. He starred in iconic films like The Goonies, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, and Gremlins. If you grew up in that era, you definitely know his face. Now, Feldman had a best friend, another young actor named Corey Haim. Together, they were called the Two Chorus, and they were basically the biggest teen heartthrobs of their time. They starred in movies like The Lost Boys and License to Drive together, and fans absolutely loved them. But here's what nobody saw coming. Behind all that fame and success, something truly horrifying was happening to these kids. Corey Haim died in 2010 when he was just 38 years old. Before his death, he told Feldman devastating secrets about what happened to him as a child actor in Hollywood. And those secrets are what Feldman has been trying to expose ever since. Now let's talk about the time period for a second. The 1980s was what people call the golden age of child stars. Movies were absolutely dominated by young talent. You had films like The Goonies, Stand By Me, E.T., and The Lost Boys. All these massive hits featured kids in the lead roles. But while everyone was watching these cute kids on screen, something dark was happening behind the scenes. There was a system in place that preyed on vulnerable young actors. And get this, parents were often kept completely in the dark. The gatekeepers of Hollywood, the agents, managers, and producers, had total access to these children. They controlled everything, and they used that power in the worst possible ways. Okay, so now that you understand the background, let's get into what Feldman actually revealed. And I'm warning you, this gets really disturbing. For years, Feldman has been saying the same thing over and over. He keeps telling anyone who will listen about Hollywood's #1 problem. And it's not about money or fame or even drugs.
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. There was a circle of older men, and they all had either their own power or connections to great power that surrounded themselves around this group of kids.
And it's widespread.
Oh yeah, I was surrounded by them. They were everywhere like vultures.
According to Feldman, the biggest problem for children in the entertainment industry is something most people don't want to talk about. He says the casting process for young actors has a darker side that nobody discusses publicly. It all happens under the radar behind closed doors. Feldman was just 14 years old when he realized what was really going on. He says he was literally surrounded by predators, but he didn't even know it at first. He was too young to understand what they wanted from him. But once he got older and looked back, he realized they were everywhere. His exact words were, "They were everywhere like vultures." Now think about that for a second. Imagine being a kid excited about your acting career, and slowly realizing that the adults around you, the ones who are supposed to be helping you succeed, actually have terrible intentions. That's what Feldman is describing here. Here's what makes this even worse. It wasn't just one bad person or one isolated incident. Feldman says it was an entire system designed to give predators access to children. The way Hollywood worked back then, young stars were basically treated like property. Agents, managers, and producers created this environment where they could isolate kids from their parents. They convinced young actors that certain behaviors were just normal in the industry. Feldman describes a circle of older men who all had either their own power or connections to powerful people. These men surrounded themselves with groups of kids. They created what Feldman calls a system of access, a setup where young stars didn't have any protection. In the truly messed up part, Many of these kids were convinced that what was happening to them was just part of the business. They thought everyone went through it. They thought it was the price you paid for fame. So, here's where Corey Haim comes into the story. Feldman and Haim became best friends while working together in Hollywood. But their friendship wasn't just about movies and fun times. It was built on something much darker. Early in their friendship, Haim opened up to Feldman about his own experiences in the industry. And when Feldman heard Haim's story, he realized they had both been through similar trauma. This created a strong bond between them. They understood each other in a way that nobody else could.
Thousands of people in Hollywood who have the same information. Why me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it. Hold on, please, I'm sorry. There are thousands of people out there, Matt, who have this information.
But sharing that trauma also meant they were both carrying this heavy secret together. And unfortunately, it led both of them down some really dark paths involving substance abuse and self-destructive behavior. Before Corey Haim died, he confided in Feldman about something that happened to him on a movie set when he was just a child. And what Haim told him was absolutely heartbreaking. According to Feldman, Haim had been abused by someone on set. But here's the part that really shows how twisted this whole situation was. Haim's abuser convinced him that this is what men do. Think about that. A child being told that this kind of abuse is normal, that it's just how things work. He actually believed that these relationships between older men and younger boys were perfectly normal in Hollywood. Can you even imagine being a kid and thinking that kind of treatment is just part of your job? It's absolutely sickening. Now, you might be wondering if Feldman knew all of this. Why didn't he speak up sooner? Well, he tried. He really did.
I remember thinking, like, oh wow, as a little boy, and he told me that, it was his co-star. And he told me that it was Charlie Sheen that did it.
Feldman points out something important. Thousands of people in Hollywood have the same information he has. So why is all the pressure on him to speak up? He asks, why is it just me? Why is it that if I don't release the names, I'm the bad guy? And he's right to ask that question. He's the victim here. He's the one who went through abuse. He's the one trying to come forward and do something about it. But instead of support, he faced resistance at every turn. The mainstream media wouldn't let him tell his story. Powerful people in the industry pressured him to stay quiet. He was called a liar and an attention seeker and has been. But Feldman made a promise to his late best friend, Corey Haim, that he would tell the truth. And that's exactly what he set out to do. That's why he spent 3 years making his documentary called My Truth, The Rape of Two Chorus. He poured his heart, his money, and his energy into making sure Haim's story would finally be heard. In his documentary, Feldman did something he'd been pressured not to do for years. He named specific names. And let me tell you, some of these names are pretty shocking. First, he named a talent manager named Marty Weiss. Now, here's where things get really interesting.
He mentioned Charlie Sheen, that he had worked on a movie, and I don't know if he just wanted to get it out or, he just wanted to let me know that, I was kind of shocked. But he said, how come I won't tell you the potential things that, I went through. And he mentioned the movie he had worked on. And then I said, well, who is it? And he said, Charlie. Charlie Sheen.
Marty Weiss was arrested and convicted in 2012. And if you watched the recent documentary Quiet on Set about Nickelodeon, you might recognize that name. Weiss was featured in that documentary too. He worked with child actors at Nickelodeon. Feldman says Weiss was one of the people who took advantage of Corey Haim when Haim was a minor. Feldman also named actor John Graham, who appeared in movies with the chorus like License to Drive and Dream a Little Dream. He named Alfie Hoffman, the nightclub owner who ran the infamous Alfie Soda Pop Club, basically an unsupervised party spot for young Hollywood actors. And he named Dominic Brashaw, a former actor and friend of both Chorus, who died in 2018. But the name that got the most attention was Charlie Sheen. Okay, so this is where the story gets even more disturbing. Feldman publicly accused Charlie Sheen of assaulting Corey Haim on the set of the 1986 film Lucas. Haim was just 13 years old at the time. Charlie Sheen was 19. According to Feldman, Haim told him in graphic detail what happened between those two trailers on set.